So, I spend a lot of time talking to people and making videos like this one and posting on Instagram and doing a podcast about living well. Like, I think if it all had to come down to one thing, that would be my niche or niche, however you say that word. I think it would come down to living well. And so, I think it's important that we define what that means. Like, what does it actually mean to live well? And there's a very definite answer given to us by our culture, by society. And I think that's things like, like fame and fortune and money and maybe having people adore you and think you're wonderful and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, maybe those things are not necessarily inherently negative, but I'm not sure that they're necessarily great things either. I look at a lot of the people who have those things and they don't seem to be happy people to me. We have we have those tabloid magazines and all that for a reason. They're constantly reporting just on the absolute shit show of celebrities' lives, and those people have everything. I mean, you'll see them their backyards. They've got pools nicer than most hotels, but they're not happy. And so, I'm not sure that is something that would classify as living well. All those things, something that jumps out at me about them is that they can all be taken from you. You could lose all your money. You could be in a horrible car crash and lose your looks. You could say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing and lose all the people who adore you and think you're wonderful. Or maybe you just don't make a good movie for a while and you lose all that. And so when I'm talking about living well, I'm not really thinking about the kinds of things that can be taken. For me, the things that have changed my life and have helped me, and I think have helped people all over the place and people I've worked with, things like mindfulness, meditation, compassion, gratitude, these kinds of things that come from inside of us and go out towards the world are where I really see value. For me, meditation taught me to kind of keep my mind in one place. It helped me learn that, first of all, that I am not my mind, that these thoughts and all these judgments and opinions and things that I have, they're not me. I can be aware of them, so therefore they're obviously not me, in the same way that I can see this couch here, I can see this phone that I'm talking to, so those things are obviously not me. And the mind is the same. I can observe the mind, so I cannot be the mind. Recognizing that was huge, because before that I was driven by my mind. My mind messed with me all the time. And so meditation was huge for that. And then a corollary of meditation would be mindfulness. Mindfulness is a type of meditation, but it's also something that we can weave into our lives on a day-to-day basis. And learning how quickly my mind latches onto things around me, assesses them, judges them, labels them, complains about them, criticizes them, just all that stuff. It helped me recognize that, oh my gosh, I am in constant judgment of the world. I'm constantly unhappy with things. So of course, I'm unhappy a lot of the time. I'm rarely in the present. For a long time, I spent all my time in the past, regretting things I'd said, regretting things I'd done, wishing I'd done this different, thinking oh, why doesn't this person like me anymore? Kind of sorted through that, got comfortable, made amends, said I'm sorry and all that stuff. Then my mind started going to the future. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do tomorrow? I got real invested in planning and preparing, and so I was constantly in the future. Mindfulness helped me learn how to be in the present and just being with things as they are. There is such a deep power in the present. There may be pain in the present, but there's not suffering. And so mindfulness taught me that. And that's definitely helped me live a better life than I used to. I think gratitude is huge. I know I see, don't get me wrong, I see the little infographics about gratitude. I see the little videos about if you're just thankful for everything, everything's fine. I think it goes deeper than that. For me at least, the recognition that there's a whole lot more going right than going wrong was huge. Now we're evolutionarily wired to notice what's going wrong, because all the things that are going right are not a threat to our survival. We don't need to worry about those. The things that are going wrong are the things the mind's going to latch on to. If you have to choose between assuming everything is fine and everything's not fine, the mind's going to assume everything is not fine, because then it's going to find those problems and try to deal with them. That's the mind's job. And so learning to push back against that, learning to address that in a healthy way is huge. And gratitude is one of those ways, because I steadfastly believe for every one thing that goes wrong, there's 10,000 things that go right. You know, for every day that I wake up and my water heater's broken and I don't have any hot water, I have thousands and I have years of days where it worked fine. For every car wreck I've been in, and I've been in way more car wrecks than most people, but they're a tiny, tiny minority of all the times that I've gotten in my car and things have been fine. For every confrontation I've had with somebody, I've had maybe millions of interactions with people where nothing went wrong. Cultivating that and recognizing just how many things go right is huge, because it does shifts our perspective, and it kind of pushes back against our inherently wired tendency to notice problems. And then, man, compassion. In general, I find that people have a lot of compassion for each other. We're able to do that pretty well. We're able to put ourselves in people's shoes, and that's awesome. And if you can do that, awesome. If you can't, that's worth cultivating. Recognizing that we're all humans and we're all doing the best we can with what we have, that's important. It's hard to live in a world where you think everybody's a dumbass who just needs to do things differently and you're the only one who's got it right. That really sucks. That's a miserable way to live. But, and I find this is the harder part for people, learning to have compassion for yourself is even more important. Man, we are hard on ourselves. I think a lot of people think that, they'll tell me, well, if I'm not hard on myself, I'm just going to start screwing up and making mistakes. They think they're a coach. They're coaching themselves, but they're not. They're really just their own bully. Recognizing that you too are a human who's doing the best they can with what they have, that you're a human who's making the best rational decision they can at that moment, man, that's everything. Learning to cut yourself some slack makes all the difference in the world. And I don't know what it is about our culture that makes that so hard for us. I don't know why we feel like we've got to hate ourselves. But when you can let that go, that's when you're really going to start to see deep change happen in your life. That's when you're really going to start to just grow and evolve as a person. Because how are we supposed to grow and evolve when we're constantly kicking our own ass? And so that's a skill to learn. So that's meditation, mindfulness, compassion, gratitude. Those are the things that just immediately jump to mind when I thought about what does it mean to live well. And I think a lot of other things emerge from these, and we're going to talk about those in future videos, but I wanted to start with those four. If you enjoy this video, if you enjoy videos like this, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe. That will help my videos get to you. There's a lot of content here on YouTube. We have to go out of our way to engage the things that we want to engage with. So liking and subscribing, it would help me. It would help my videos get to you. You can find me on Instagram. It's just James Scott Henson over there. I do a lot on Instagram, trying to post useful content, trying to just create things that are going to help people live just with more peace and compassion and equanimity. I think that's so important, especially right now in history. And so you can find me over there at James Scott Henson. If you have an idea for a video, you can shoot me an email. It's just james@jamesscotthenson.com. So, I don't know, leave a comment. Tell me what you think is important in living well. If there's something I've missed, I'd love to hear about it. So, thanks for taking the time to watch this. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.